Congressman Steve Cohen says having the federal government involved is the only way to get justice for the family of Trayvon Martin. It's 2012 and many believe racism is still very much alive.
It's hard to fathom this still goes on.
The answer to solve racism is not so black and white.
This was a young man who was doing nothing wrong, and he's dead.
But in the case of a Florida teen, Congressman Steve Cohen says it was white versus black.
There was some broadcast that he used a racial epithet in talking to the dispatcher about the victim. And there's also indications that he had an obsession with black males and had followed many people in the community as he was like a vigilante.
Cops say George Zimmerman shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Zimmerman told cops it was self-defense. Investigators say the only things Martin had in his hands, a bag of Skittles, a can of iced tea, and he was wearing a hoodie.
That's absurd. It's absurd. I wear a coat with a hood. If nothing else, it was racial profiling, and racial profiling is a link to a hate crime.
For that reason, Cohen wants the Department of Justice to get involved.
And he's dead because a man who took the law in his own hands, apparently oftentimes following African-American males, had a suspicion that he was up to no good, and that basis of that suspicion that got in this psycho's mind was based on race.
Trayvon Martin's death sparked national interest, even grabbing the president's attention.
I can only imagine what these parents are going through. You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
Republican presidential candidate Newt Gingrich said in an interview he was disturbed by the president's comments about race and that this tragedy has nothing to do with color. Cohen disagrees.
If this was a black gentleman who had shot a white man, there's no question there'd have been probable cause.
If the Department of Justice takes this case and the shooter is convicted of a hate crime, it carries a sentence of life in prison. Jackie Orozco, ABC 24 News.